as well call the meeting to order. For pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Two of us have signed the warrants. I'll let him know when she gets back. Anybody note any errors or omissions of the select board meeting?
I didn't see any, and I'll make a motion to accept them as read.
I'll second it. And move the second that we accept the town and Newry Selectmen meeting minutes for December 17th, 2024. All those in favor?
In favor.
In favor. Date 7th.
Yes. Of 2025. I know. I just wrote 24 minutes ago. Reiterate it.
I'll be good.
I feel it is 24.
Oh. Just the flow.
Yeah.
Do you have any adjustments to the agenda?
Yes, the first item on your discussions and possible action is, she's running late, so she's on her way, just ran into traffic. So we could just move on down.
Not fine.
Any announcements? Public comment? And then we'll go down to special town meeting date.
Well,
Okay. I've heard from several engineers that when the RFQ went out, that April 1 is way too fast. One of those engineers and consultants is the one that we used back in 2016. And this is a man familiar with our Sunday River and knows exactly what needs to happen. But even he said, that we can't meet that deadline. So I have an idea. I'll, based on our discussion here this morning, probably pull the RFQ, get a little more insight from our town engineer that we use to review planning board projects. He offered to give me a call and give me some insights, as well as the consultant that has worked in our two rivers before. Both of them have offered to help, so I'm gonna talk to those two individuals and come back to you, but sounds like it would be too fast, huh? State permitting, federal permitting, at the very least, is an 18-month process, and we want those in place.
so we don't
What
have
would
to
you
pick
be suggesting?
Nothing, until I talk to those two consultants.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't need to pick it, we can't pick a date, let's put it that
Well,
way.
that's what I
Yeah.
was, that's what
Yeah.
I was asking.
Oh, okay.
We'll table this for further information.
Further information, yes, thank you.
You should have called Mandy and had a conference call with her.
Oh,
I think she's gonna get away with it that easy.
well, she already sent a.
Well, we might as well go on to Joe L's update, or is that it?
Well, that's the update for the special town meeting, waiting for the two consultants. I'm gonna have more conversations with them. The roads are wearing pretty well where we patched them from all the storm damages. I don't see a lot of frost heaves, I don't see a lot of sinkholes. You know, they're wearing gently, I should say, for our winter so far. We'll see what happens come March and April when the frost comes out of the ground, yeah. The drain at Simon's Bridge, I've shoveled that out a couple of times after snowstorms, it does drain nicely. We do have a local driver up in that direction, so have you noticed any big puddles, Ted?
I have been very well behaved and not spraying anything with
Oh,
it.
Okay, good, thank you.
Darn the drain.
So, the drain is working as designed and happy about that. I think that's about it. Otherwise, it's been quiet, it always is through the holidays.
Okay, comprehensive plan update.
I had one person call and ask about the committee, asked who was gonna be on it, and they thought we'd be yada yada. If it was a paid position, and I said it's not a paid position. So he said he'd think about it. I got an email from another one, he sounded very interested. I told him I weren't sure who was gonna be on it or how many people, we wanted to see how many volunteers we were gonna get. Those are the only two I've heard from, but I assumed it would be a select person, a planning board person, and then people at large that, you know, might wanna step up. So at this point, I don't know how much you wanna push it. We put it in it, or call them, we had a nice write-up in the paper.
Is that the post office?
Yeah.
It's on our,
Website.
it's on our website, it's been on our Facebook page, we have it posted on the door,
Yeah.
we do have it posted at the post
Now
office.
that we're through holidays, I think maybe we should push it a little more again then.
See what happens on our next.
Yeah.
Advertisement.
Yeah. So, haven't pushed too hard, you know, because, you know, it's at the holidays, everybody's coming and going and everything, so. That's all I have on that for now. Did you have anything to add to that, Joe?
No.
We'll push it out, more info out until next
Yeah,
21st.
yeah.
You can put my name on the list.
Put yours on the list?
I was on the first one.
Right. Sure.
Thank you.
I'm willing to if they want.
We
I know
gotta-
you want some more,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
different sides.
But we gotta have a nice
but-
secretary.
But I'm willing, I'm willing to do some of that.
Yeah.
That part of that.
Most of our secretaries are vocal in our meetings.
Oh, good, I might
That
think
won't be a problem.
They usually come with lots of historic knowledge.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm willing to do that.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, and I haven't got in touch with Gooch yet either, so, but I figured, like I said, the holidays, we'll push it down. Good.
So we wanna continue on with the code enforcer,
Already did that.
road committee report. You're all done?
Well done.
Nothing else?
Nothing.
You got nothing else you want to bring?
Are we talking raises yet? What else do you want me to bring up?
I don't know, you said you wanted to be on the agenda for,
And I was.
yeah, I know, I was just trying to think if there was something else when we talked about, you know, it was a week ago, 2 weeks ago when I did this.
Yeah. My name is Joelle Corey,
Joelle, how do you spell that?
Joelle. It's on our website too.
okay.
I'm the code enforcement officer.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I think our guest may be arriving.
Okay.
There's a pickup that just rolled in.
Could be. I mean, I've got a whole list of stuff, keep running them out.
Well, I don't know. Does the deputy clerk have all that stuff?
No, I really don't. Dogs are due to be licensed by the end of the month to avoid the $25 fee. Yet again, I've said, we do hope to have animal control out for the people who don't find it necessary. Because the only way to test these dogs for rabies is to euthanize them. And
And that would be horrible for someone's
it
pet.
does it has happened. And it's just easier if you just go get the rabies vaccination and bring it to the town and license your dog from anywhere from $6 to $11. It's really not a lot of money. They do have one more pet vet clinic down to Rumford Tractor Supply, and there may be others in the surrounding area, so people need that before coming to do their dog. Tax payments are coming in as we're reaching the end of March deadline, so those are starting to trickle in. That's really about it.
We received a nice check from the state of Maine for the Betty reimbursement, $250,546. The letter that you,
Thank you, Rob.
Rob wants 10%.
Yeah.
I told-
Amy does a lot of
I
that
said
too.
to So, and you had a building code violation, the guy paid his fine, and he's all set. We had advertised for the hazard mitigation, which will probably be pulling, so kind of lost out on that, but oh well. Town of Bethel had a design site plan done at the transfer station. We paid our share of that. I called, said, since we paid our share, I'd like to see the design, and I'd like to have a meeting, and Sharon said she was working on it.
Is that for the scales?
Yeah, so,
I mean, we've seen a rough draft.
right, but we haven't seen the real,
Yeah.
you know, so we're waiting for him to set up a meeting still. Maine increased its minimum wage to $14.65, and it was $14.50, yeah. So, Amy won't be here for the February 4th meeting, she thinks she's got a vacation. She's going to the Sunny South with her son. On February 25th, I know it's a little far ahead, we have training in Rumford for most training, from 1 to 3, so we'll close the office in the afternoon. And I had to do, application for, well, not an application, but follow-up for Region 9, for their grant that was approved in those November elections. And I got it off my desk yesterday, and she said, out of 16 communities, I was the first one. She thanked me for that. I said, well, I need to get off my desk so I can do my W-2s and 1099s. And I'm working on budget, and working on audit, so all kinds of good stuff. That's all I have.
Okay. I guess we move back up to the tree growth penalty. I don't know which one of you wanna go first. Either the assessor or Ken.
Go ahead.
All right, hey, so, I sit right here. So the way this come up is, these guys bought all the land in town that Penley Mills owned. They got a big chunk of land out and behind, and this little 2-acre lot on the road up here. So, I discovered the fact that to be in tree growth, you have to have at least 10 acres of forested land. And this lot was a big L-shaped lot that went down to the road, went up and then it went in behind a bunch of other lots. And Penley Mills bought it in '03, and it was in tree growth in 2003. And in 2008, they sold it to what's now owned by Saddle Ridge. So when they sold a big chunk of Saddle Ridge, it left this little 2-acre piece on the road not contiguous with all the other tree growth land, which is not allowed. But the issue was, back then in 2008, the assessor should have discovered the fact that bisecting this lot created that this little 2-acre piece be removed from tree growth. It was never done. Now with a new transaction that came through, I'm processing all the information and realized, oh shoot, this lot shouldn't be in tree growth. So my responsibility is follow what the statute says, pull up and calculate a removal penalty. Send it to these folks here, to let them know, and it's just been they're under the impression that it wasn't in tree growth. So there's a lot of questions back and forth. So I think that's what they wanted you to talk about what we would do about that penalty. Would it still stick? Is there something else we could do about it? But that's the background behind it, how we discovered it now. Should have been discovered in 2008.
Was that part of a bigger lot?
Yes, it was.
So
Yeah.
that got divided, but
Yep, so they chopped it up, and when they sold the piece in the middle, they left this little 2-acre piece on the road, which can't be in tree growth. Right. The only time you can have a lot that's less than 10 acres in tree growth, if the lot is separated from the big tree growth lot by a road, right-of-way, or power line. Makes no reference to another lot, so.
Okay.
But the rest of that lot was in tree growth.
Yeah, and still is, actually. I just processed, they refiled a new tree growth application in their name. I just processed that this morning. This was a They bought acres from Penley Mills and a bunch of different municipalities in one transaction. So I can see how it could get, nobody really caught up to the fact that this one particular lot was in Tree Grove all this time. I think that's where the confusion was. That's fair to say?
Correct.
Kurt Yulin, we have no problem paying the tax for, you know,
The time that
the
we
time we
bought
bought it on the regular tax, you know, we understand that it can't be in Treeville, but it's $10,000+ for, it's 9,000, what is it?
$883.60.
Yeah, just under $10,000 for back taxes, way back to '08. And we're asking if something can be done with that. We don't feel it's really a tax bill, but, it never got picked up. And, we understand it.
With a group of others that wasn't picked up on, or not picked up on, but
No,
didn't pay the taxes on it.
no. So Mandy had questions and I already gave them to Rob, but I'll. She asked, she wanted to know why it was in tree growth and when it was be coming out. And can we split the fee with them for both parties were at fault, you know, because it was on some of their paperwork saying their attorney should have noticed that it was specifically listed as tree growth because we had written a note at the bottom of whatever Amy had sent them, which I believe we have copies in the book. And she said it would charge a fee from when we noticed the error, or rather the entire time. So Rob was looking at stuff this morning from 2008 to.
Well, the town itself is almost as much, maybe not as much too, because it should have been picked up back in 2008. That's what you said.
I agree with you. If I could make a suggestion?
Yeah.
What it dawned on us this morning was going through all the records, that I would offer up a suggestion of retroactively going back and calculating what the penalty for removal should have been in 2008. And have that as a removal penalty today. We should have discovered it in '08, the penalty should have been assessed in '08, and the amount. It makes a big difference in the sense that the penalty in '08, if this was removed properly, is $1,142. I mean, it's a far cry from this. It's a very unique situation where the law says when a property's in tree, there's always a penalty to take it out. How we process it is another thing, but there's always a penalty. So to me, to correct the mistake that we made, it should have been taken out in '08. So I duplicated what would have happened in '08.
We're okay with that. What he's suggesting is taking it out from 2008. We will pay that.
And then going forward, we understand it's not in Treeville.
It'll be out, right? It'll be out. I think, and this, to me, it's the right thing to do because we should have caught it a long time ago.
Right. So we're as much as fact at fault as,
Right?
you know, they're not really at fault because they had really nothing to do with it at that.
That's right, that's right.
So, what's your opinion, Dave?
I think if we went with the 2008, then that would kind of rectify everything after.
So we'd ask the board to abate the first one, and I'll issue a new supplemental for the next meeting at that amount. Send them a new bill, and this supplemental law allows, it's 60 days before any interest starts. So they'd get a 60-day window from,
One of us needs to make an emotion
Yeah.
to abate
Yeah.
this penalty.
right,
I'll make a motion to abate the penalty.
Of the 9,000.
9,988.
9,988
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll second it. All those in favor?
in favor.
In favor. And now you will go ahead and.
And reissue a new one at this amount.
And, correct.
Easy, I like it.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, we
really
appreciate it.
We're trying to be fair about it.
Yeah,
Right.
Some things are more out of our control than others,
Right.
so.
I've been a selectman and town attorney for 19 years, so I understand where you are.
All right, good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You get us a bill, we'll get you a check.
All right. We will. Thank you.
What was your assessor return for some grade?
Thank you very much. You guys
Thank
are
you.
very patient.
This is the right answer.
Sorry
You
for
also.
rescheduling so many times. I was
I
like,
got to see snow. An hour away, we don't have it.
We got plenty of ice too, we'll share that with you.
Yeah, no, we have that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
We're still talking about a couple ordinances.
We need, I was the assessor in.
Eventually, it'll be coming to you. Vacation rental one and town road entrance ordinance that was started way back, never finished. So, and then, you got news that I can think of.
Robert.
Robert
Duplicity.
Robert Duplessis.
D-U-P-L-I-S-E-A.
We have nothing else, I guess.
RJD. Up here we do Turner and Buffalo. I mean.
Oh, come on.
that was it, Brooks. That was a shorty.
How'd you get today off? You're not working, Chuck?
What's that?
You're not working today?